What up, guys? That Comic Awesome here doing another review, doing The Flash number 45. And if you're not reading The Flash, shame. And this issue, issue 45, is a perfect issue to jump in on. This is the first issue after the Perfect Storm, where Grodd has kind of come back, and needless to say, he was defeated. So this issue doesn't really deal with any villains. It's kind of a bridge into what will be Flash Wars. But this kind of gets all the characters back to normal, like gets them, reset, gives you a little warm and fuzzies here and there, doesn't other places to kind of keep that, some storylines going. But this does something that DC is notorious for. The cover that completely has nothing to do with the story. And it's not for the fact that Wally does not finally introduce himself to Iris. That does happen, but there's this like Barry for some reason looking like he's trying to stop it, and Iris is like mad, and Wally's kind of caught off guard. So you feel like this meeting is somehow like accidental or whatever, and that is completely out of context and doesn't happen. And we'll kind of get there. There are some other things. The art in this one was like, it was really good, like probably a little more serious than in other issues. A lot more like shading to kind of give more of a serious tone. But in some areas, maybe it's like that painting when like, you have a masterpiece and you put that like one brush stroke too much and it completely ruins it. There's a couple panels where it's like, if they would have just toned it down a little bit, it would have been a lot better. So this is going to be fairly quick because I don't want to give too much away of this story, because again, you should be reading this. But everybody's kind of cleaning up Central City. All the Flashes are there, so you have Flash, you have Kid Flash, you have Avery, and you have Wally, all trying to pick up the city. And I like how they, it's like, the city was burned, and destroyed by Grodd, but that's nothing, a speedster can't handle. But it's the people. The people is what really, make the city, thrive. You also kind of get a glimpse of what happened to Mina. She turned herself in after the Grodd incident, and she kind of admits to Barry, Barry's like, look, we can get you out of here. We could say it was Grodd that was controlling you. And she's like, look, deep down, it wasn't just Grodd. Grodd might have pushed me in the right direction, but it wasn't just me, which I like. They don't just conveniently wipe out character flaws due to like mind control. They keep her flaws, saying like, look, she's like, look, I didn't want to like kill you, but I did have some animosity towards you that allowed these things to happen. And I liked that. I liked the fact that she was, it makes Mina's character interesting. And I dig it. So this is one of those panels where it's like, if you would just like taken a couple less strokes, like, so you have Kid Flash and Avery, and they both have these like goofy grins on their faces. But like Avery just has like a little too much shading around her face, makes her look like, and like her like skin and bones, like collarbones. You're like, geez Louise, like just a little less shading probably would have been more there. But it kind of shows that they're willing to forgive her, and she just wants to, she has to kind of forgive herself for doing that. So this is what I mean though when it's really good. This is probably one of my favorite panels. Just Barry talking to Kristen, like he looks so, again, him as Barry doesn't look goofy or like too cartoony. He looks tall and stoic and like, okay, like I'm a man, like, which kind of I hope fits into maybe him growing more as a character. You get this great shot of Godspeed, who disappeared at the end of Perfect Storm while they tried to stop this like black hole from pretty much devouring the city. Most of the team thought that he escaped. Me as a reader thought that he sacrificed himself into the storm to close it. But now it appears that something pulled him out as he tried to sacrifice himself. And whatever this entity is trying to say, again, maybe give him a deal that's a little like too good, but saying like, hey, look, I can help you correct your past mistakes and be a hero. And he's like, I'm listening. So again, I don't know if this entity or whatever it is good or bad, or maybe this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I like that it's there. And again, what they do, what Joshua Williams does it perfectly is he gives you one page, he gives me just enough, and I go, man, I hope Godspeed comes back. Now we get into the one page I didn't like, and it wasn't the fact that I didn't like the artwork on it, and I didn't like the character interaction. There's an editor blob there that I did not like. So, Kid Flash, Wally is saying bye to Avery, and after she leaves, he's like, okay, she's gone, why are you spying on me? And he looks up and Robin's up there. And he's like, why'd you send that girl away? You still, hung up on that Raven, on Raven. And he's like, they kind of have a little bit of back and forth. But then, so he's like, our father figures appear to be making the same mistakes lately. It's time we talk. Oh, sorry. Our father, so he's like, it's time we talk. So I have no idea what's going on there, because even in the Batman storyline, or even in the Teen Titans storyline, I don't see Batman kind of having that issue, unless it refers to Titans. But then there's a blurb down here that says, for more on this, see Teen Titans special in June. So I gotta wait a month and a half. One, I would have rather you just left this out and then maybe referenced this panel in this, because now again, like at the end of Perfect Storm, where Grodd gets taken away, and then there's the blurb. It's like, who knows where Grodd's going to show up next? See Damages number 5. It's like, well, now I know Grodd's going to show up in Damages 5, or Damage 5. I know it. This is just it's a blurb it's almost like a spoiler. Now I know that something is coming in this issue. That has to do with this, which I guess, what, even as I say that, it's probably marketing. Great, now I'm interested. Damn you for getting me with marketing stuff. So then the rest of the issue is pretty much just Barry and Iris having kind of like a cheesy conversation. It wasn't my favorite. It was endearing, but it probably could have been a little deeper for me. And then you get another one of those panels. Again, I loved this. I thought this panel was awesome. And then you get this panel, and again, I get perspective, but it just looks like Barry has a giant hand that's brrr. That, and again, just a little less shading probably would have done it. Again, I'm nitpicking, whatever. But it's one of those panels where it's less could have been more. But then, of course, Wally introduces himself, and something kind of interesting happens at the end, which leaves you wanting more, of course. But yes, definitely pick this up. I tell people on Twitter whenever they ask about good series to read, The Flash is always a consistent story. You're never gonna, it might be, hit or miss, but you're always getting a really good classic feeling story. You're never getting any interjected social politics or anything out of the ordinary. You're getting a hero, a villain, or a hero who is jaded and trying, a villain who is kind of there to stop the hero or cause destruction, and the the overcoming of obstacles and stuff. So very good. Subscribe over here, watch some more videos, hit me up in the comments, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.